away in just complete panic.
Search and rescue teams combed the area for survivors. Officials say at least one person has died.
I would first like to extend my condolences to the family of the person who lost their life on Highway 99.
The rain that caused that tragedy has mostly stopped falling in BC's interior, but the damage is done.
The water line was right there.
Many homes here in the town of Princeton were underwater.
My people and my animals are safe, so that's all that really matters, but I'm just devastated.
As that water recedes, the cleanup has already begun.
I'm just glad it's over. Like, the cleanup you can handle, you know what's ahead of you, but when the actual flood is happening, you know, you just have no idea where you're going to be.
Up the road in Merritt, people are still trying to get out. One family rescued by helicopter today. Floodwaters took out the city's wastewater facilities. Officials say that without drinking water, people won't be able to come home for the foreseeable future.
People are not allowed to enter. It is simply not safe for anyone to be here who doesn't absolutely have to be.
All of this not far from Lytton, BC, where a heat dome fueled wildfires that wiped most of the town off the map this summer. Now, nearby land has been washed away by an atmospheric river.
And Aaron, what more do we know about the Lillooet landslide?
Well, we can't get to the site of the slide itself. That road is closed, but I can tell you search and rescue efforts are continuing, and it's thought that 2 more people could be missing.
Thanks, Aaron. There's also widespread disruption and destruction in the Fraser Valley. Chilliwack, for example, normally a half-hour drive from here in Abbotsford, but between these two cities, parts of the highway are submerged and evacuation orders affect thousands of people. Susanna De Silva joins us now from Chilliwack with the disaster and the upheaval that's unfolding in the Fraser Valley. Susanna?
Pauline, I'm here actually on a dairy farm just on the edge of one of the evacuation zones in Chilliwack. You can see the flashing lights over my shoulder. That's where that begins. This road has seen a steady stream all day long of farmers and animal trailers in and out, back and forth, desperate to try to get their animals off of their properties. They are being taken to farms all throughout this region. Other farmers who've been stepping up and saying, yes, like here, please bring your animals here. We can take them. Some animals even being taken out on boats at this point. These farms are among the hundreds of homes in this region that have been evacuated, sending thousands from their homes. This family thought they had made it out before the floodwaters.
Just packed up the vehicles and started coming out, thought we could get to a hotel somewhere. When we got across the bridge, we found we couldn't go anywhere.
Instead, it was a long night in the car with the kids waiting for rescue.
Just trying to calm them down, tell them that everything's going to be safe. My wife's a little distraught, knowing what might happen with the house, flooding.
But theirs was one of the less dramatic rescues around the Fraser Valley.
People were going off the side of the road. We had cars flipped over. A situation where we had, one member had to throw in a life jacket and swim out or wade out towards a car that was overturned to bring someone back. And that was just almost on a regular basis for about 2 hours there.
Police rescued people from 5,000 cars stranded on the Trans-Canada Highway overnight. Now it's somewhere under all this water, preventing anyone from heading west into Vancouver, while landslides in the other direction on the highway are stopping anyone from going north to Hope, another community completely cut off.
We have approximately around 2,000 extra people in the area. So it's putting a strain on our system within town. But I got to say, the business community is really pulling together.
The community of 6,000 has been welcoming stranded evacuees while making plans to bring in supplies like groceries by air if needed.
We always have to find a way. People are stepping up. People are bringing stuff from their homes and everything else and dropping off at these centers, to make sure everybody's fed and looked after.
Hundreds are at the local high school. Others are sleeping in cars. Some, like the Tweedy family, have been welcomed in by total strangers.
We're very, very grateful for Miranda and Mark and their little one, Felix, who took us in and are feeding us and helping us and all of that stuff, because we wouldn't be able to, we'd be stuck in our car with a 2-year-old.
And the community of Hope saw an influx of about 500 cars last night alone. Those were people still stuck on Highway 7 in Agassiz with those slides. A lane was opened up to allow them to head into that community. And today searchers took to the ground. They took to air using a drone to examine that area. And they believe that everyone has gotten out of that slide alive. Ian?
Susanna De Silva just outside of Chilliwack. The closure of 3 major highways is effectively cutting one part of the province off from another. Highway 1, Highway 3, and the Coquihalla. They're the major arteries connecting BC's lower mainland to the interior and to the rest of Canada. Beyond stranding thousands of people, the closures have also severed the province's busiest supply routes, cutting off communities from some essential goods. Renee Filipponi has that part of the story.
Water rushes underneath a now completely severed section of the Coquihalla Highway.
Look at this bridge. There's nothing left of it.
The busiest route through BC's mountains is now impossible to pass.
So you can see this is my truck right here in the back.
Larry Stefaniak says he was forced to abandon his truck filled with fish, headed for an Edmonton pet food plant.
I think its shelf life is about 6 days from the time it was ground up. So if we don't get it moving, it will be too late.
But all the highways connecting the lower mainland and the rest of the country are shut down. To make matters worse, all rail service has also been impacted by damage to the line. No trains are coming to or from the Port of Vancouver. And that's creating concern in Abbotsford, a community underwater and also cut off from an important product.
I can think of many, many farmers that I know on Sumas Prairie. They're going to be devastated because we're going to run out of feed in 4 or 5 days. They're going to run out of feed in 4 or 5 days.
There's nothing left in the store.
The panic is playing out on grocery store shelves as people rush to stock up, unsure how long the major routes will be closed. The province says it's possible Highway 3 will be open by the end of the weekend, but the Coquihalla and Highway 1 will take longer.
Our maintenance contractors have gathered all the heavy equipment they can. They are ready to clear roads. They are waiting for the signal of when it is safe to do so.
You know, when you see a piece of road that looks like this,
This professor of engineering says some repairs to the Coquihalla could take months.
Getting the roads, especially the bridges, back up and going, probably with temporary structures to begin with, and then more permanent works over time.
But for many stuck in limbo because of this destruction, time is not on their side. Renee Filipponi, CBC News, Vancouver.
Flooding has also affected the Malahat Highway on Vancouver Island. Crews were able to reopen a vital stretch between Victoria and Cowichan Valley this morning after damage from heavy rain closed it yesterday. For now, it's down to a single lane with traffic directions alternating every 30 minutes. It will be closed overnight and over the next week as crews work to repair the damage. Of course, weather will continue to be a big part of this story moving forward to help facilitate the cleanup and get those roads open again. And joining us now is meteorologist Tyler Hamilton. He's with the Weather Network. And Tyler, we've had a few days to kind of absorb what's happened here. How would you describe what did occur in British Columbia?
Ian, when we check the climate records, nothing compares. This atmospheric river that sliced across southern Vancouver Island and the lower mainland dropped unprecedented amount of rainfall. The Malahat picking up nearly 200 millimeters of rain. That region is normally in a rain shadow. And then Metro Vancouver into the Fraser Valley, rainfall rates 10 to 15 millimeters an hour every hour for in excess of 24 hours, bringing hope over 250 millimeters of rain.
Yeah, unbelievable numbers, unprecedented numbers in some cases. Here tonight in Abbotsford, it is cool and it is clear. Both of those things are good news because they don't need more precipitation right now. What can we expect in the immediate forecast?
So there's some good news with the freezing levels. They've dropped, they've stabilized that snowpack, but the ongoing flooding still a concern. It's going to take days or weeks to really start to drain some of this. There's a system we're tracking Thursday night into Friday that is just going to clip sections of the lower mainland at this point. But as it clips the region, we could be looking at an additional 5 to 15 millimeters for the region, and we don't need a single millimeter more across the Fraser Valley.
No kidding. Thanks, Tyler. Tyler Hamilton from the Weather Network. This is a disaster that's affecting a very large geographical area, and that really comes into focus when you see it from above.
It's just mind-boggling to see how much water has fallen in such a short period, and it's just got nowhere to go either.
Coming up a little later, a look at the scope of the devastation with a helicopter pilot who says he's never seen anything like this. And I'll be back with that and also more of our special coverage a little later. Until then, Adrienne, back to you.
All right, we'll see you soon, Ian. Thanks very much. So that same system that has caused chaos in British Columbia brought whiteout conditions to large parts of Saskatchewan today. Blizzard, wind, snowfall warnings, they stretched across much of the province. Several roads have been closed, bringing some regions to a grinding halt. Officials are asking people to reconsider any unnecessary travel. Turning to the COVID-19 story now, hundreds of thousands of Canadians have lost loved ones to the virus. Relatively few have had that experience with a family member who was transferred out of province. But it happened to a Saskatchewan family who say the government made their grief even more acute. Here's Amira Issa.
This is a trip we had to Whistler.
Andrew Miller still remembers their last conversation with their father before he died.
He was struggling to even to breathe.
61-year-old Ken Miller wasn't vaccinated against COVID-19 and died after a month-long fight with the virus.
But he wanted to tell me that that he was so sorry and that he had no idea. And he repeated that over and over again. And then he basically told me he loved me.
Miller was among the 27 intensive care patients moved to Ontario from Saskatchewan to alleviate pressure on the province's healthcare system from COVID-19. But his family says Saskatchewan was unprepared and unhelpful. Miller says it took 5 days for their father's body to be sent back home, and only after a funeral home stepped in.
Yeah, the funeral home, from what we can see, did more to bring my dad home than the government did, and the government was who sent us out to Toronto.
This week, Saskatchewan's Ministry of Health apologized to the family.
It's extremely unfortunate if there's somebody that's been delayed 5 days.
Miller's transfer to Ontario happened because Saskatchewan's ICUs were overwhelmed by the fourth wave. Now, the situation has improved, but experts say the province is not out of the woods just yet.
I hear from my colleagues in Saskatoon, Regina, other parts of the province that there are patients coming in every day into the emergency departments that are being directly admitted into the ICUs, directly admitted to the hospitals.
As for Andrew Miller, with their father put to rest, they hope others will get vaccinated to avoid losing their lives or the life of a loved one. Omaira Issa, CBC News, Regina.
Erin O'Toole has removed Saskatchewan Senator Denise Batters from the federal Conservative caucus. Now, yesterday, she launched a challenge of his leadership.
Under Erin O'Toole's leadership, the rift in our party is growing.
She said she wanted an expedited leadership review of O'Toole. In a statement tonight, the Conservative leader said Batters showed a clear lack of respect for the entire Conservative caucus. Jury deliberations in the trial of Kyle Rittenhouse got underway today. The 18-year-old has been charged in the deaths of two men at a protest last year in Kenosha, Wisconsin. The case has become a flashpoint in the U.S. around the issues of police, protests, and guns. There is some extra debris in space tonight after Russia decided to test out its missile system on one of its own satellites. But its direct hit up there touched off a war of words down here. Chris Glover has the details.
Sorry for the early call. We were recently informed of a satellite breakup.
Astronauts aboard the International Space Station received a warning yesterday morning to shelter in pods under threat from space debris.
Thanks for a crazy but well-coordinated day. We really
After hours of worry, American astronaut Mark Vande Hey confirmed everyone was safe.
And we're looking forward to a calmer day tomorrow.
Back on Earth, things may take longer to calm down.
Russia's dangerous and irresponsible behavior jeopardizes the long-term sustainability of our outer space.
Immediate condemnation from the U.S. State Department. The debris cloud was caused by a Russian missile hitting one of its own defunct satellites.
The United States will work with our allies and partners to respond to Russia's irresponsible act.
This strike was in Earth's lower orbit that's littered with space junk. Further out are critical satellites for things like GPS technology.
If a country can hit a satellite in low Earth orbit, what's stopping this country or another country going further and hitting a satellite, a GPS satellite in medium Earth orbit?
Today, Russia's foreign affairs minister confirmed the strike but dismissed safety concerns as overblown. Russia, China, and the U.S. have done these tests in space before, but this was Russia's first to hit a target, leading to worries this strike could fuel an escalation of space hostility.
I think that the US establishment has been rather too complacent about the idea that, yes, there's going to be war in space and that's what we're going to do. I think there's still hope to avoid that.
He is fearful of what response the U.S. State Department determines is reasonable and says when it comes to space, all governments should focus on negotiation, not retaliation. Chris Glover, CBC News, Washington.
Canadian hockey players are training in Russia for the Winter Olympics, just not to represent Canada.
Pretty surreal. I mean, living the dream.
Ahead tonight, why a gold medal isn't necessarily the objective. What a pandemic spent in isolation could mean for Canada's elderly.
There's a whole generation of older people, that may suffer consequences.
And I'll be back from Abbotsford with a view from above. Surveying the devastation in British Columbia, the National is back in 2.
Welcome back. Ontario is looking to expand COVID testing in its pharmacies. They will soon have the option of testing people who are symptomatic.
It will help kind of influence people to isolate if they know for a fact that they do have COVID, and obviously that will decrease the spread.
Walk-ins won't be allowed and strict mask protocols and other precautions will be in place. The government says it is approving the change because of the province's high vaccination rates. Moderna has asked Health Canada to approve its vaccine for children. It would be for kids aged 6 to 11. Pfizer made a similar submission last month, though it was for those aged 5 to 11. Both Moderna and Pfizer say they are also testing their vaccines on babies and preschoolers. And today, Pfizer applied to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration for emergency use of its COVID treatment pill. The company says the drug can reduce the risk of hospitalization and death by 89% in high-risk patients if taken within 3 days of the onset of symptoms. Now, in this country, geriatric health experts say seniors have suffered declines in mental and physical health because of the pandemic. They are warning of an uptick in what they call deconditioning. Health reporter Vic Adopia has the details.
For Yasmin Hashem's mother, getting around has become noticeably harder during the pandemic.
Before she would get out, there was more exercise. So now the thought of getting out of the house is scared.
Her weekly seniors group hasn't met in person in over a year. She wants to go back to those days.
So we can tuck each other and laugh sometime for 1 hour.
They're trying to bring back the laughter at this seniors online art class.
Being cut off from each other has been a real heavy strain.
For some elderly people, that strain of the pandemic has led to more social isolation, malnutrition, and inactivity, accelerating mental and physical decline, which experts call deconditioning. There isn't much Canadian data about deconditioning, but people who care for seniors say they're seeing more of it.
And has often led towards the necessity of long-term care.
Next to COVID-19, the signs of deconditioning are subtle, but no less arresting, even for this geriatric emergency doctor.
In going through his symptoms and complaints, the thing that was heartbreaking, that he was dying of loneliness. And I didn't know how to help him.
Lee's now researching how to treat seniors' pandemic isolation with hospital volunteers who call them up weekly just to talk. He says elderly Canadians are losing their quality of life prematurely.
We won't know how bad it was for 5 or 10 years. There's a whole generation of older people that may suffer consequences.
You want her to see go up?
Yasmin and her mother are still trying to stay connected with others on the phone and online, but it's not enough.
Now, every day is the same.
And that has worrying consequences. Vic Adopia, CBC News, Brampton, Ontario.
For many, the pandemic has caused big problems for high school learning, but one particular solution is coming under increasing scrutiny. It's a system that packs 1 or 2 subjects into a short, intense time frame. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson shows us some of its impacts.
Graham Hopkins struggled under Saskatoon's quintmester system last year, where an entire course would be compressed into mere weeks.
I failed a physical sciences course.
This year, his school is using a quarter schedule, but the same issue remains: long classes with lots of material to cover in a shorter than usual time.
It's extremely stressful. You have almost no time at all to learn anything or truly absorb any kind of information.
Quadmesters and modified semesters were originally brought in by high schools, mostly in Ontario, to limit contacts when students were going class to class. The system has barely improved in this school year. Students here have only 2 classes a day, each 2.5 hours long. This high school chemistry teacher says that those long classes are made harder by the absence of lab and group work, also because of COVID protocols.
So imagine doing science where the students are expecting hands-on labs and hands-on activities, but instead they get to just sit at their desk for 2.5 hours every class.
It's about limiting contacts. It made sense during the pandemic when it was at its height, but we're not there anymore.
In a statement to CBC News, a spokesperson for Ontario Minister of Education Stephen Lecce said, "We will continue to follow the advice of the Chief Medical Officer of Health with the objective of keeping students and staff safe and cautiously returning to a more normal learning experience for students." As for Graham Hopkins, he's taken an extra year of high school to beef up his math and science marks and working on a petition to coax his school board to revert back to normal semesters in the new year, as teens try to claw back some normalcy in their 3rd school year affected by the pandemic. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson, CBC News, Toronto.
Next, we'll be back from Abbotsford, British Columbia, with a staggering scale of the devastation in this province. What we saw when we took a helicopter today to get a sense of the damage that has been left behind. Plus, the story of a rescue from the landslide.
He was covered in mud and blood, screaming, "We need help."
She then went on to help that man save his family. I'll talk to her after the break.
I would first like to extend my condolences to the family of the person who lost their life on Highway 99.
The devastating impact of the floods here in British Columbia, with police confirming today at least one woman has died in a mudslide and 2 more people are still missing. Welcome back to our special coverage with major highways washed out and entire cities under evacuation orders. The scope of this disaster is clear, but it really sinks in when you see it from above. And this afternoon, I had the opportunity to survey the damage from a helicopter.
We took off from Pitt Meadows, about 30 kilometers east of Vancouver. And it didn't take long to see just how extensive the flooding is. You're looking just east of Abbotsford. There are places along the Fraser River prone to flooding, but as our pilot pointed out, he's never seen anything like this. That's Highway 1, the Trans-Canada, underwater. Some semi-trucks stranded, and water is still pouring in. Further east, past Chilliwack, we headed to one of the slides on Highway 7 on the north side of the Fraser River. From a distance, the slide looks like a scar on the side of the mountain. As you get closer, you get a sense of just how much rock and mud and how many trees came tumbling down when the mountain let go. There is a path of sorts where the highway was, empty cars lined up, stranded, as they have been since Sunday, and questions about just how stable it is above the road.
So that's the view of the slide from the air, but someone who got an up-close and frightening look at it from ground level is Laura Ronson, an ER nurse who found herself on Highway 7 near Agassiz when the disaster struck. And so first of all, tell us, you were driving along the highway when all of a sudden you started to see cars moving. Describe that for us.
Well, it was pretty intense. All of a sudden saw a bunch of two cars. I thought they were turning around, but they definitely were sliding into the barrier, and then saw the mud flow and the barrier broken. So I turned around and went the opposite route. And then that's when I saw the next one, power lines down, another bunch of trees. And then, tried to call my mom, and then a man comes out of the bush, and he's all covered in mud and blood, and he's screaming, "I need help!" And he's asking me to help. His family's in a van, rescue or trapped down, I guess the slide. So I immediately went into, I guess, fight or flight mode, and got some boots borrowed from a gentleman because I was wearing slip-ons, and then got a headlamp. I'd already loaned my headlamp to the fella, and went down the side of the mountain. I think it was about 30 feet down where they were trapped. Thankfully, they were all alive inside, and they were all breathing, and they were all safe enough to be removed from the van. So we all worked as a team with a rope, gentleman tied to a pole, and we all kind of worked together to help each other up the hill, help the family who was injured, and then we all got them into vans with blankets. Everyone donated water and warmth and their time, and it was awesome. Everyone was safe, and we got everyone to where they needed to be until the paramedics showed up. So after that,
it is an incredible story. I mean, you're dealing in the dark there. It is cold. You don't know how stable the ground is, and then all of a sudden you're dealing with this rescue. It was it frightening at the time?
I mean, nobody seemed, I don't know, it just all happened so fast. And it was like, this guy's family's down there and he's screaming, he needs help. And I'm like, I need to help this person. This is kind of what I signed up for as a nurse. You don't just punch the clock and leave, right? So, but we just needed to get the right resource. But what was really scary is the fact that the power lines were down, and it looked like the mud was still flowing a little bit. So thankfully, there were some trees that were, protecting this van from going down further, but it was quite scary. It's like, who knows if we move some person, is this tree going to crack? Is this van going to kill me? But that thought didn't even go through my mind till afterwards, right? I just kind of was like, we need to get these people out, and we need to get them out now. So, I'm
have
still
just
processing.
15 seconds left. Yeah, well, so we have 15 seconds left, but I just want to ask you this. You're safe at home now. That's, 48 hours ago. Have you calmed down yet?
I think so. I mean, I've been through a lot in my life, but this was up there for sure. I know, just being surrounded by friends and just knowing that I'm safe. I'm just hoping that everyone else is as well. There's so many people stranded. There's so many people that we don't know about. So I'm just sending my love out to them because, I wish they were all in my shoes right now. That's all.
You did an extraordinary job under unbelievable conditions, and I'm so happy you told us that story. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Have a good night.
Good night. Here in Abbotsford, the past 48 hours have been filled with anxiety, distress, and at times complete devastation. We reached out to some of those who have felt the impact in the city to share their experiences, images, and feelings that have been brought on by these massive floods.
My name is Fran Boza, and I live in Abbotsford. My husband and I were coming back from his nephew's wedding in Jasper. We were fairly close behind the first mudslide. It was almost as if you could hear the mud sliding. There was nothing we could do, which actually made it so difficult for the people that you knew were alive under the mud. We didn't have shovels. We knew we couldn't go there. It was eerie. There were cars all over the road. There were trunks up and hoods up and babies and children. The power was out everywhere in the city. We were in our car approximately 27 hours. We went to the high school where we were welcomed with open arms, and they were going into their cupboards and bringing anything they could to help the 500 to 700 people stranded there. My friend from Gibson's saw my Facebook post and directed us to her sister that lives here. And this is where we are staying, and apparently tonight as well, and maybe tomorrow. We don't know how long it's going to be at this time, and they have been wonderful.
Hello, my name is James Reinheller. I live in historic Claiborne Village in Abbotsford, BC, and we are experiencing flooding right now. There's a little creek that comes through, and it started overflowing, but it turned from this little creek into a massive river with strong currents. So our house was one of the first homes to get hit, and it was hit quite hard. It was starting to pool up and flooded some minor parts of the home into the carriage house in the back. And so I was up for, definitely half the night with working with our sump pumps and making more sandbags to save more parts of the house. It looked like our house was built like right on a river. And right when you open our door, you have a river rushing right through, and you could see the neighbor's garbage flowing down. You could see plants flowing down. It's very scary because it was rising insanely fast, and you don't know when it's going to stop rising. You don't know when, and you don't know when it's going to start cooling up even more without having the water flowing by you. It's a very surreal feeling. It doesn't even feel real when you're watching it. You just can't believe it.
My name is Olive, and I live in East Abbotsford, where we've had quite a lot of flooding in the past couple of days. We're completely surrounded on 3 sides by water and a big hill behind us. Part of our property is a very large hill going up into the mountain. So our plan is to carry what we can on our backs. We'll be going up the mountain to neighbors that live up there, and then friends of ours who own a truck will come and pick us up, and they can go out through the back way. We've got friends who have offered us their home in the meantime, and so that's where we'd be going for however long we need to, I guess.
You know, Adrienne, one of the interesting things about this flooding here in Abbotsford, for example, just up the street, there are stores that are open. The streets are dry behind me. There's not supposed to be water on that road behind me, and a couple of cars are stuck in it. But everywhere in this province, at least everyone I've talked to, the sense of anxiety about all the extreme weather we've lived through over the last few months.
But also, just from listening to those people, the sense of the way in which, you know, neighbors and strangers just get into it, you know, and just get there and help out. I think it's made a huge difference. We will see you very soon, Ian. When we come back, a doctor, a dad who lost his family, has a message and a mission.
The mission is to give a human face to my daughters. The mission is to bring justice to my daughters and to spread hope.
A Palestinian Canadian goes to Israel's parliament for compensation and an apology. Welcome back. Palestinian-Canadian doctor Izzadine Abuleish was already a champion of peace when an Israeli military strike killed 3 of his daughters during the Gaza War of 2009. Since then, he has campaigned not for revenge, but for recognition. Iris Mackler follows the latest step in his uphill battle to honor his daughters and help others.
After Israel reopened its skies post-COVID this month, among the first arrivals was Palestinian-Canadian doctor Izzadine Abuleish. He was born in Gaza, but says each return is painful, since 3 of his daughters were killed in an Israeli military attack there.
Full mixture of pain, sadness, hope, suffering, but most important, determination. The mission is to give a human face to my daughters. The mission is to bring justice to my daughters and to spread hope.
Dr. Abuleish called in to Israeli television during the 2009 Gaza war between Israel and Hamas, as his house was being shelled by Israeli tanks. His suffering was seen live on TV.
This is Mayar.
After the death of Bisan, Mayar and Aya, the doctor moved to Toronto with his surviving children. He set up an educational foundation, Daughters for Life, in their honour, and still fights for their rights.
It's the responsibility of the loving and living to advocate for them, to speak for them, to hear their cries, their pain, even in their death.
He's in Israel to seek compensation from the government and says any money will go to expand the work of his foundation. His first stop is the parliament, the Knesset. Some lawmakers are signing a petition asking Israel's Prime Minister to meet with him. One from the Labour Party signs on the spot.
We want them to apologize, to take responsibility about the tragedy in a positive way, to have the moral, ethical courage to acknowledge what happened.
Dr. Abuleish is also trying a legal route with a case before Israel's Supreme Court.
I am hopeful and came here hopeful that justice can prevail here.
There are supporters and media, but the chances are slim. This is an appeal from a judgment against him in the district court. After making his case, he will return to Gaza on a very special mission.
To visit the graves of my daughters, because I am accountable to them and they are watching me. To say to them, I am here for you. I did my best, and I will continue to do my best till I meet them one day.
The Supreme Court is expected to hand down its decision in 2 to 3 months. Iris Mackler for CBC News, Jerusalem.
China isn't known as a hockey-playing powerhouse, but that's not stopping them from putting a team on the ice for the Beijing Olympics. Will adding some Canadians to their roster help?
It's still going to be a huge situation with possibilities for embarrassment.
Got a bit of a scouting report coming up after the break. Welcome back. With the Beijing Winter Games less than 3 months away, China's men's hockey team is an unlikely collection of players facing an Olympian challenge. Briar Stewart shows us who they are and how they're getting ready.
At this arena in a suburb of Moscow, there's a lot of fanfare for China's KHL team, even if there aren't a lot of fans in the stands. The team was moved here from Beijing because of COVID, and on the official roster, 19 Canadians. Many of them have Chinese heritage and have been recruited to help Beijing form a national hockey team.
Pretty surreal. I mean, living the dream, playing the second best league in the world, right?
But it's been a tough road. Kunlun Red Star is at the bottom of the KHL standings, and in a few months, China's team will play in their biggest games yet.
China is able to have a hockey team at the Olympics because it was given an automatic berth as it's hosting the games. To say it will face stiff competition is an understatement. In its pool is Canada and the USA, two powerhouse hockey nations, but will have teams with NHL stars.
No one really likes to see their own country lose by a huge scoreline anyway.
This Beijing-based sportscaster has been following Kunlun since 2017 and believes there's a lot of negotiation going on around the roster. The International Ice Hockey Federation is currently evaluating the team.
In an ideal world, you have as many homegrown players, domestic Chinese homegrown players as possible on that Olympic roster. But realistically, they're just not at the same standard.
Dave King, a former NHL and Olympic hockey coach, says there's a lot of talent and effort, but it won't be enough for Olympic glory.
It's still going to be a huge situation with possibilities for embarrassment. When the scores get out of scope, that's when people wonder.
But the Chinese team does have a few dedicated fans. This man, who told us his nickname is Lenin, says he's always cheered for China and communism, and he'll keep cheering for its hockey team. We thank the Canadians for teaching them how to play, he said. And that's a big part of this entire endeavor. The ultimate goal, Ethan Werrick says, is to develop the country's hockey program.
It's going to be a great honor. It'll be great exposure for the country. I guess we'll know probably in 15, 20 years what this does for hockey in China.
And what kind of impact the country's Olympic team, likely stacked with Canadians, will have on the sport. Briar Stewart, CBC News, Moscow.
Next, the incredible lengths a BC man went to save horses trapped by flooding. The dramatic rescue as water rose and it was all caught on video. That's next in our moment. As thousands of people fled the city of Merritt, British Columbia, Henry Chilahitsia stayed back to help rescue dozens of horses trapped by the rising waters. He traded his saddle for a boat and sprung into action, coaxing the horses to higher ground. And that incredible rescue is our moment.
It took us 5 tries to finally get them to actually move. That's all they were doing is just moving in circles because they didn't want to go anywhere. Instead of trying to go in right away, we went around them with our boat. We just kind of circled around them, and then once we got them all turning towards the gate, we kind of just went in sideways with our boat.
Can you go in there with them? Yes,
Go in there with them. Once we started pushing the horses that were in the back over, that's when the whatever lead horse was up front had no choice because it pretty much got pushed. Once the first one started swimming, then the rest just followed. They had to swim maybe 10 feet and then they were on shallow ground again. Had a lump in my throat the whole time, so my emotions were pretty high, and I own horses myself, so they're kind of like my kids.
Wow, that is extraordinary. And you should know that he spent yesterday rescuing cows, and the good news is all the animals are okay.
And it's nice to get some good news, Adrienne. As you know, a lot of the places that were hit by the flooding and the fires in the summertime was ranch country, lots of animals, and it just added a couple of degrees of difficulty for getting people out, but also trying to keep their animals safe as well. So as I said, nice to finish with a nice story. That is the National for November the 16th.
Good night.
Good night.